of mine who is quite knowledgeable about what's real, what's not in the health and wellness arena, and that includes, of course, the topic of HGH and its many benefits. He's a world-renowned naturopath MD. He's spoken on a variety of subjects at more than 100 medical conventions in more than 19 countries. And I could go on and on and on about his credentials, but he's got a lot to share with you. So everyone, please give your attention to Dr. Dave Carpenter. Dave, take it away.
Thank you so much, Jeannie. I really appreciate the introduction, and I really appreciate the opportunity to be here tonight with all of you. You know, Somaderm, I can't even talk tonight. Somaderm gel is a homeopathic gel that helps the body make more human growth hormone. And that's what we're here to talk about tonight. It's manufactured and available only through a company called New You Life. It's a 7-month-old direct sales company. Now, many people often say, what is homeopathy? Well, homeopathy is a medical system based on the belief that the body can cure itself. Those who practice it use tiny amounts of natural substances, such as plants and minerals, for example, to optimize their health and their body functions. This particular product, Somaderm Gel, has been available for over 13 years. It has been limited to a production capacity of 10,000 bottles per month. That was limited by the FDA. And that restriction was lifted last year, and they were told they could manufacture as much of it as they wanted to. Now, here's what's important for you. There's been 10,000 people buying this product every month since they started making it 13 years ago. And well over 90% of those people keep buying it month after month after month. There's a reason that they do that. They don't want to stop using it because they're experiencing such amazing benefits, and we're going to talk about some of that in a minute. But I want to point out here that retention, that continual ongoing order is what makes a great business opportunity. So when we get to the part about the business opportunity, just remember high reorder rate here. And these were all retail customers buying a product that was helping them. Let's quickly talk about what human growth hormone is. It's technically the master hormone of the body. It's made in the pituitary gland, and it is therefore the most important hormone in the body. Because of our diet and our lifestyle, particularly here in the West, it causes us to decline in the amount of HGH that we make, so that by the time we're in our early 40s, we're only making about 15% of the amount that we made in our early 20s. It's that drop in the HGH, or human growth hormone levels, that literally throws almost everything out of balance in our bodies. Let me give you some examples of what happens to you and me when we start seeing our HGH levels drop. Many of the symptoms that we think of as aging are simply brought about by this hormonal imbalance, such as disturbance of the sleep cycle, which is regulated by hormones like melatonin and serotonin. That visceral fat that accumulates around the middle that you just can't get rid of. The thinning of your hair, the thinning of your skin, and the wrinkles that accumulate on the skin. Bone loss, things such as osteoporosis and osteopenia. Irregularities in temperature in your body. Loss of muscle density and the muscle mass as we get older. Part of the issue that causes blood sugar problems like hypoglycemia and diabetes are brought on by this drop in growth hormone. Hot flashes, or being cold or hot all the time, breathlessness after mild exertion, irregular heartbeat, these are other signs, cramping in the hands and feet, problems with sexual desire and also sexual performance. And a lot of men as they age start having problems with an enlarged prostate. Again, decline in HGH is the real culprit there. Stiffness and pain in our muscles and joints. Having low energy and low endurance in recovering slower and slower from physical activity are, again, signs of that decline in growth hormone. And another one that's really common is that brain fog and the memory problems that occur as people get older. So as you can see, there's a lot of health conditions that are brought about by these drops in our human growth hormone levels. What I'd like to do now, though, is real quickly bring on a couple people who have been using the Somaderm gel in their lives and let them share with us what they've experienced. So let's start out with Annie, who has, we'll let the ladies go first tonight. And so Annie, if you've been so kind as to say you'd share with us tonight, if you'll just make sure you unmute your phone, and I believe it is, please go ahead and share with us if you would.
Okay, and thank you so much. I'm just loving to be able to do this.
Great.
Dr. Dave, I am telling you, I just don't even know where to start, but let me just start with this. Evidently, I was in such a horrible state of depression, I didn't even know how bad I honestly was. I'd gone through a really horrible time 1 year at the hospital with my daughter, who eventually passed away from leukemia, and it just threw me in a tailspin that was just unbelievable. And I kept trying to make it, faking it till I make it, and all this kind of stuff, but I just really, truly couldn't and didn't even want to do my life. But I didn't realize I was as bad as I was until some really great friends of mine sent me a bottle, right? And I used it the first night. Well, I got to tell you what, this is what happened for me. I woke up in the morning, and I was so happy. I just couldn't have woke up, and I was happy about a bunch of whole things. I had some major issues with sleeping for a long time. And when that happened with her, it just got worse. I would, get up, and on the nights I was able to fall back asleep, I would wake up and go back to sleep 8 or 9 or even 10 times a night. Other times, I would go to sleep for 15, 20, 30 minutes, and I'd be up for 3 or 4 hours all night. So it was just a nightmare for me. So I take my gel, I go to bed. I woke up 2 times that night to go to the bathroom with it. Well, when I woke up in the morning, I'm thinking, holy moly, I only got up 2 times. I was so excited. And I'm up bouncing around, and it dawned on me I was happy. Now, I don't know if it's from the lack of sleep or all the other nonsense that's been going on in my brain for a couple of years, but I couldn't believe it. It just absolutely, I was happy to be alive. So that was just amazing for me. And then my brain has been working like overtime. It's like my brain came back home when I got back in my head. My brain came in. I'm not as foggy. I don't have to tie stuff on my doorknob to remember to take it when I'm going to town. Just the craziest things that I'm noticing. And I was having nightmares with all the old hospital issues, and now I have the best dreams. And for the first time, I actually dreamt in color, Dr. Dave. That was really a thrill for me. I don't believe I've ever done that in my life. And then I had some knee surgery about 3 years ago, just laser surgery. I had torn a meniscus, and then I had to go get all these blasted shots in my knee twice a year, a shot a week for 3 weeks, and then that would get me walking and somewhat out of pain. But I still was experiencing a lot of pain. So what I've noticed now, I'm 2 months past getting my shots. I couldn't wait to get my shots. And then I thought, oh man, if I get that gel, I'm going to see what's going on. So I did not get the shots. I made it, the gel, I got the gel, and now my pain level has gone from like an 8 down to a 2 without getting the shot. And then one other thing that happened for me, I had this little, on the back of my thigh, I had this little fuzzy, not so great looking little rising on the back of my leg, and I kept knowing I should go get it checked, but quite honestly, I was still in that frame of mind. I didn't care. But the other night I got out of the shower, Dr. Dave, and I'm drying off with the towel, and that growth had been about the size of a nickel. It's less than a dime. Now, I don't know what it was. I don't even want to know what it was. I'm just happy it's leaving my body. And all of this has happened for me in about 3 week period of time on the gel. So that's been my experiences so far. I'm just absolutely ecstatic. So, but you know one thing I learned the other night on the call, there was a gentleman talking, and he was saying, don't wait to tell your friends about this. So, but I've been waiting because I didn't want to call my friends about it till I knew at least when I could get the product for them. Like I was talking to one of them the other night. When I started to tell her, she said, I know what you're going to tell me about. And she says, I already enrolled with the company. So I would just tell everybody, don't put off talking to the people that you would love to be able to work with, because this is spreading like wildfire. And I just want to say thank you to everybody that has just been so phenomenal with sharing their calls with everybody. And I am here to stay.
Thank you so much, Annie, for that. Wow, what a great sharing that you've offered tonight. Thank you. Let's move out to Florida to Bob. Bob, are you there? And can you share with us what's going on with you?
I am, Dr. Dave. Can you hear me okay?
Absolutely. Go ahead. Take it away, Bob.
Great. Well, I've been actually using the gel now for 5 weeks. This is yesterday, actually, on my 5th week. And I am just amazed at the benefits that I've received from it. I'm 77 years old, and like other folks my age, they might be experiencing some difficulties with prostate. In my case, I was getting up 2 to 3 times every night, and sometimes even 4. And since I've been on the gel, within a week, I've been basically not getting up more than once. And it's even been a few nights when I've slept entirely through without having to get up at all. Now, that to me is a blessing, and if it didn't do anything else besides that, I'd be more than happy. But fortunately, it did do some other things besides that. My energy level at 77 is through the roof. I'm not one for enjoying the gym, but I do it in order to stay in shape. But now, since I've been on the gel, I've actually been able to get out and do yard work in the hot Florida sun without any problems whatsoever. I've been out there about 2 or 3 hours every day, and I get through it. When I did that in the past, I would have to, probably after I did it, hit the pool and then hit the bed for a couple of hours nap to get my energy back. No longer have to do that. I still jump in the pool, but I don't have to take the nap. Libido is increasing. I'm pleased with that. And I think probably one of the other things that has been the most benefit to me is, like Annie, I also suffered with a knee injury that was slowing me down. It's actually part of the things that kept me awake at night. My pain level with my knee since I've been on the gel has decreased from a 9 to a 1, and I'm hoping that will soon be entirely gone. And the last thing I'd like to share with everybody is just the fact that my wife Bonnie and I have been in our own businesses for basically our entire career, and for the last 10 years or so, we've been just kind of marking time. And the opportunity that New You Life affords us is just so exciting to be able to share the benefits of this product with other people and see them get benefits as well. It's just given us a new lease on life. So we thank all of you for getting us involved with this. And back to you, Dave.
Thank you so much, Bob. And Annie, thank you. It's just such a delight to have you here. Here's the bottom line, folks. Somaderm gel works. It's easy to use. You simply use a pearl-sized application on the thin skin areas of the body 2 or 3 times a day. It's exclusive to us here at New You Life. It's proving to be as effective as the extensive HGH injections for a fraction of the monthly cost and without the harmful side effects of the injection. With a retention rate of product users over 90%, the opportunity to find customers and others who can find customers and to get paid month after month after month is incredible. So here to tell you a little bit more about the opportunity, I'd like to introduce you to a good friend of mine, Ben Kane. Ben is a top income earner in the industry. He's a highly successful businessman who learned about the Somaderm gel just a few weeks ago. Ben, are you there?
I'm right here. Can you hear me, Dave?
Perfect. You're coming in loud and clear. Take it away, my friend.
Well, I appreciate you having me on the call. And when I listen to the testimonials, you know, that's really the key ingredient for the opportunity here, without question, is the product. You know, Ken Burgess, who I've known for a long, long time, introduced me to the company and to the product. And my wife and I were driving across the country, and he said, "Okay, Dave, what do you got?" Because I knew he was going to tell me something. And I've been out of the industry for over a decade, and primarily because I couldn't find anything that I was really excited about. And he said, HGH. And I said, HGH is not those pills that you got to starve yourself for. And he goes, no. I said, the injections, you know, I took those years ago. I spent $2,500 a month back then. It's a lot of money. And I moved out of California. I was away from that doctor. I didn't have access. And I watched what happened with my body. And as it continued to deteriorate rapidly, you know, over the following years, not having the opportunity to be able to take those injections anymore. So when he told me it was a gel, I got really, really excited because I could see the opportunity for everybody that would want to be able to turn back the hands of time to be able to do so with HGH in this gel format. I got really, really excited, and I jumped in like, you know, immediately, which is not my style. But I jumped right in and ordered product. And then I got, like everybody else, all of a sudden I was sitting there waiting for product to come. And waiting for product to come. And I didn't understand what happened. You know, the company's in pre-launch, but what happened? And here's what we learned. We learned, like what Dr. Dave said a few minutes ago, is that when the company got started, you know, there was only a limited number of bottles they were allowed to sell. And they had worked their way up to where they could only sell 10,000 bottles a month. And then when they got that cap taken off, they can go and sell as much as they want now, and they made a decision to do a direct sales company, they had absolutely no clue in the world what was going to happen and what the demand would be for this product once you got into some people's hands. Now, I want you to stop me and think about this. You know, it was about 6 months ago that they got started, and they only had a handful of people, and they're trying to build their infrastructure. It wasn't even nothing in place, really. And they went out and they got a handful of guys to come on board, and what happened was the following month when they got their product, they went crazy with the testimonials and the results. And so the company's product, the product that they had in inventory and anticipated selling, the product that the lab said, we can keep up with you based upon what? Based upon the history that they had selling through a handful of individuals and some doctors and some clinics and some trainers and what have you, but just handfuls of people, but with a limit of 10,000 bottles a month. The thing went vertical. And everything that they had in inventory went right out the door. And what I didn't realize and didn't know in the beginning was how long this stuff takes to make. It's got to ferment for a period of time. It's a couple of months that it takes. So when they went and blew right through all of that product, they had to go replenish it. And that's what they've been doing right now, is replenishing and getting caught up with everybody. And here's what I want you to think about. In any company that you could possibly imagine in direct sales and networking, the number one key factor is having a product that everybody that you talk to, everybody's going to want. Because think about it, who the heck doesn't want to live longer or live younger longer? Everybody does. And so what happens, people start calling around and talking to each other about it, but they weren't able to get the product. So some people who had not had the experience, people who had never taken the injections like I did, or people who were not around that group on the East Coast that were the first guys in that all got that product and went absolutely crazy as a result of those testimonials. Well, the company's gone out and lined up a couple of different labs now. They've got different labs they're lining up to be able to produce this product in mass quantity. The goal is to be able to do 750,000 bottles a month by January, 1 million bottles a month by the end of the first quarter. And the launch is until September. Now stop and think about it. There's 3 million people on the injections. There's a $170 billion industry. It's growing like leaps and bounds as an industry on its own. And here we have this unique gel product that is probably the best product and the best product by far for the dollar in the marketplace. And they can't get anywhere but here. Now, between now and the end of the year, they're going to break 100,000 bottles in a month. Think about that. And at $140 roughly on a retail, that's $14 million in sales in 1 month. And they'll probably do that in November or December, and we don't even officially launch until September. Now, the fastest company in the industry ever before got to 10 million in its 10th month after it launched. Month 10, and they did 11 million in sales in their 10th month after the launch. We're going to break that in the first or second month after our launch in September. Why? Because we have the hottest product to ever hit the direct sales industry. And all of us are at that right moment in time. The moment in time with this company and the pre-launch and getting ready to really take off, number one, and at the same time is an aging population, and every single one of us want to live longer, we want to live younger, longer, we want to look better, feel better, and have a better quality of life. You go out and you share this product, and you want to share it with everyone, and I'm going to tell you right now, if you're not on board, you want to get on board, you want to get product ordered right away, because in the last 6 weeks, over 10,000 people in the last 6 weeks in pre-launch here, knowing that they got to wait for the product, knowing that they had to wait for that next big batch to come online, knowing that 10,000 people got in line to get product. There's a lot of people in line, a lot of people signed up waiting to get product, and once they do and they have the experience and they have their own testimonial, they're going to go absolutely crazy sharing this with everybody. Everybody that they know, and people who maybe have never done a direct sales opportunity before in their life are going to do this because of what? Because of the product. Because of the product. Now, you do not want to be the person who's getting called by all your friends that are out there right now waiting in line to get the product. You do not want to have all the people that you are afraid to call get called by somebody else and signing up because of the product. You want to get your product, you want to get an order in right away, and then pre-launch right now. If you order 3, you can get 4. You get 1 free. And if you order 6, you get 2 free. It's going to give you 8 bottles of this product. Now, you want to get, I'm going to tell you, I'd suggest everybody, you get the executive pack so that you have some product to be able to retail to others, because you're going to be excited to be able to share this more than any other product you've ever had in any direct sales opportunity before in your life. You stop and you think about it. They're planning to have 1 million bottles a month available to be sold in the first quarter of next year. There's going to be literally millions and millions of people going to be using this product in the United States, and then they're going to go international and global. And here you and I are, when they've only got a couple of handfuls of thousands of people. And of those people, over half of them are yet to get their product. They're going to get it this month. Imagine what's going to happen after that. It's going to be like a rocket ship going vertical right to the moon. I couldn't be more excited than I am right now to be a part of this company because of the timing and the product. I know what HGH does for you, and I know the Dr. Davis shared with everybody tonight what it can do for you, and the testimonials are unbelievable. So don't hesitate. Don't wait for your friends to call you. You be calling them. Back to you, Dave.
Thank you so much, Dan. What a great way to wrap it up. There's nothing I can say to add to that. So thanks for joining us, folks. Thanks again to Ben, to Bob, and to Annie for sharing. And we will talk to you again on this same call, same number on Thursday night. Thanks for joining us. Good night.
Good night, everyone. Great call. Thanks, guys.